September 11th started as just another day for FDNY Battalion Chief Joseph Pfeifer. That all changed, of course, when he witnessed the first plane hit the World Trade Center and became the first fire chief at the towers that day.
And Chief Pfeifer is sharing his unbelievable story in the new memoir, Ordinary Heroes. And he is here with us today. It is such an honor to have you here in studio with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Can you tell me, 20 years later, do some of the, most of us can't remember what we did 2 weeks ago. That was, of course, an extraordinary day, but do some of the details ever start to fade, or do you still, 20 years later, remember so many of the little details from that day?
There's so many details from that day, and because it was so intense for me and for all of us, I think we remember those little details. And that morning, the little details was the difference between life and death.
Yeah, and you lost your brother on that very day, so that's something, of course, that stays with you each and every day, I know. And interestingly enough, you were a part of history from a filmmaking standpoint because you had two French filmmaker brothers with you, the Naudet brothers, and they were just there filming a documentary on you in your firehouse, not thinking that anything extraordinary would happen. And to now have that footage, because it really is truly the most remarkable footage that anyone got that day because they were there on the scene. Can you take us back to those moments?
I had Jules Naudet riding with me, and when the first plane came overhead, he was able to capture the only picture of the plane into the World Trade Center. And then he stayed with me the rest of that morning and filmed inside the North Tower.
Some of that film, though, some of that footage, your brother was caught on some of the footage as well. Your brother, who you essentially sent up, who passed, of course, who was sent up into the tower. What was it like to go back all those years later and see the footage of your brother from inside as he was doing his job that day?
I remember my brother coming up to me before 9 o'clock as he was reporting in, and he came in quietly. He didn't say anything, and we looked at each other, wondering if we both were going to be okay. What we saw in the film, that was the last time I saw my brother Kevin.
It's hard to imagine, and so many people on this 20th anniversary remembering people like your brother who were doing their job valiantly, bravely. You call your book Ordinary Heroes. It doesn't seem ordinary to me.
But that day, they did ordinary things. As the firefighters were going up, people were coming down. And they told them, don't stop. You could get out of here. Keep going.
As they were going up?
Yes, they were going up. And when I called for an evacuation of the firefighters from the building after the first collapse, my brother stopped on the 9th floor and redirected people and other firefighters. Ordinary things, but at an extraordinary time in history.
Yeah, what do you hope people take away after reading your book?
I hope they take away that within each of us there is this ordinary hero, and sooner or later every one of us will be presented with a moment to be that hero for somebody else.
Wow. What is your day like on 9/11? I know you go back for a lot of the commemorations every year, but the rest of your day, what is an ordinary hero like you spent? It was such an important part of that day. What is your day like on September 11th?
My day is like the morning when I go down to the site and we listen to the bells that ring at 6 moments when the planes crashed into the towers, into the Pentagon, into Pennsylvania, and then the 2 collapses of the building. So I'm there with my other firefighters and family and friends, and we remember that. Then I visit my old firehouse on Duane Street, my brother's firehouse, Engine 33, and then the best part of the day is I take a long walk on the beach with my wife.
Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, Chief Pfeifer, it is an absolute pleasure having you here. Congratulations on the book, but thank you for your service. I know you retired a few years back, but a long, not just that day of service, which was extraordinary, but you had a long career here. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the memoir, folks, is called Ordinary Heroes. It is available now. Grab yourself a copy. And up next here on GMA 3.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.